Okay, welcome to today's class. So today we'll be talking about JavaScript array. In computer science, array is simply a data structure that allows us to store multiple values in a variable. So we can have multiple values like names, ages, and assigned to an array. Then we'll call the array based on index. So to access an element, we'll be passing an index to based on the value we stored. For instance, if name Mike is the first value, that means it should be index 0. Then the next value should we be index 1. So array lets you to store multiple values in a variable. So as we said before, that to call out the specific value you store in an array, you do that by calling the index that is attached to it. So if you have like five um, values, your index should be 0 to 4. To call out the first value, you use your index 0, which I'll be showing you in the next slide. Yeah, array store a fixed size and sequentially to your element you have in your array. What I mean is that if your value are 5 you stored in your array, so array is going to share a fixed size to all values you have in your array to manage your array and your data structure locally. So let's see a practical view of how you write your data in your array and how to read it. So we have our syntax here. var That is your variable name, So we are working with a variable name, a variable called name. So you can see the new array, then you can see the one without the new array. So our array have values that are up to 3, which are names. Now reading those elements or value, as we said earlier, that you read array elements using index. So index 0 is the first element, index 1 is the second, and index 2 is the third element. So when you call on index 0, the name gift should appear. Then when you call on index 1, the name Duke should appear. Then index 2, the name Michael should. Okay, let's quickly dive into our VS Code. If you have not installed VS Code, you can check one of our video on how to install your VS Code, your virtual studio code, because from now henceforth we'll be working with our virtual studio code in developing JavaScript program. So we'll be looking at array using values. So let's just quickly erase our code and show you how you can import your HTML environment with ease by using HTML5. So in the body, that's where you have your JavaScript tag embedded. So it's inside your JavaScript tag that will be writing JavaScript code on our project. So we'll be working with an array based on value. So on this example, we assigned an equal story size 4 to all our um, values that is in our variable. So our variable here can be any name, So it's not the data type. It's just a value, a name. You can name it anything. So on our example here, we have a arrow, which we are identifying it as a variable. Then our variable type is a new array. So you can see we will print those values in the array based on their index. So the first value is based on index 0 to the last value index 4. So let's check our screen to see how it's showing. So you can see the values are under each other because of the line break we use. That is the BR tag. So we can decide to remove the br tag and see how the layout of our data is going to be. So all we just need to do is just to remove the br tag, and you can see the values are in a straight line. So there are so many ways to check an array. So this other demo we have here is a different structure of how we can write and read an array. So it's practically the same thing. So let's check uh, Windows or browser to see how this other structure of an array is displayed. So same thing. It's in a straight line because we add um, we need to change it to demo 2. So you can see same structure, different structure I mean, then same result. So in our next video we'll look at how we can read strings value. We have done numbers, so let's create another file to read a string value where we'll be storing names and reading those names. To do is to still call on our HTML5 so that we get directly to our table. Then create our script tag. Sorry, um, create our script tag. Then the script type is JavaScript. Then the language is also JavaScript. So remove the source. Um, Later on, we'll be learning how to use source, but right now we are directly embedding our code. So every code we'll be writing will be inside the script tag. So let's create a variable name. Then let's store the data we want to show, the names, which we can also refer it as elements or value in our array that has a variable name called names. So then after doing that, for us to um, display the names on our browser, we use for statement. So we are saying let I is equal to 0, which means the value will start, I will start from 0. Then I is less than names dot length. So we are describing the length of the value. Then we say I is plus plus. Then what we need to do now is documents.write to display um, I names, then I. Then this will allow us to show everything we have stored in the variable array called names. Then we're adding a BR to do have a line breaker. So open our browser to see what we have. Now you can see the names align each other because of the line.